Thank you for the reminder. I appreciate it. All right. Welcome, everybody, to the very first PTSO meeting of the 2023-2024 school year. We're very happy to have all of you, and we're excited to have our guests, Mrs. Blahnik and Mr. Ebert. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of really great information from everybody, so very excited for that. I think the first thing I need to do is officially call the meeting to order. So this meeting is now called to order. With us today, we have our principal, Mr. Ebert, as well as our, do we have our teacher or faculty liaison, I'm sorry, Ms. Blahnik, am I saying that right? Okay,
that's correct.
thank you.
Got it.
Okay, good, thank you. And we are expecting to have our student liaison with the student council join us. If he gets on, we'll make sure we introduce him as well. Am I missing anybody, Roberta?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I don't see Austin on just yet. Sorry, I'm looking at my other screen here. So why don't we just go ahead with the faculty liaison report?
Sounds good. Hello, everybody. My disclaimer is my family is about to walk in the door in 2 seconds. And that's a guarantee. My dogs are going to go nuts. So I'm sorry ahead of time. I also talked to Alex Gaskin, who sometimes would fill in last year. And she did mention Austin was intending to join. So I would hope he was able to make it too. Thanks for having me again this year. I think I know most of you by now. These are familiar faces. But for those that don't know me, I'm Melissa Blahnik. This is my 5th year at Homestead. I love this school. I love this community. I live in this community in Thiensville. My kids go to Oriole Lane. I've had 12 years in education. At the high school, I teach AP psychology, psychology and history, and then advise a couple of clubs, environmental club and a new psychology club approved today. I'm pretty excited about that. And this year I'm coaching cross country. So I might work with your student in a number of ways. We are off to a great year. I did first want to thank all of you for your fabulous breakfast during PACE. We always enjoy that. There were also some goodies on the table, Post-its, highlighters. I grabbed a couple of those. I know other people did too. We just really appreciate it, especially just kind of getting everybody in that excited energy as school starts off. So we really appreciate that. Also, I know Roberta sent a number of emails to both me and Mr. Ebert, giving us great information. She mentioned the teacher wish list was going to be offered again this year. Gave a couple examples of what would a teacher might ask for on that list. And so I sent that over to Nancy, and she did send that out to staff last Friday, I believe it was. Does that sound right? It was the same day you sent it. And I will continue to remind teachers to take advantage of that list since you're generously offering that. And then I did want to clarify, and I can connect with Mr. Ebert too, for the mini grants, did you want me to, did you want us to tell teachers now, or did you want us to wait on that?
No, if you could tell teachers now, because then we're going to try to move it up. Usually we vote on the mini grants at the November meeting.
Okay.
And we thought it might be nice to do it at the October meeting and then again at the February meeting. So yeah, please go ahead and get that out. And then regarding the teacher wish list, there's teachers already populating the spreadsheet. So that is awesome. And so we're going to get that out in the Tuesday short kilts.
Okay, that sounds great. I'll get on that tomorrow for sure. And then I also just wanted to give a couple updates. So besides in the last couple of weeks, getting to know our students, we also had curriculum night, which was really great to see families and tell them a little bit about what happens in our classroom with their student, get some of their questions answered. Most of us are getting into our first unit assessments, things like that. And I just wanted to mention AP students, if any of your students are taking AP classes, Jackie Connolly is getting to the point where we're asking students to enroll in AP Classroom. It's something that will give them resources and important test information. And I think starting next week, she's going to kind of follow up to see who actually did that or not. So if your student is in an AP class, maybe you can ask them, did they get a chance to enroll in AP classroom or not? Other than that, just teachers being involved in some sports and clubs events alongside our students. And I think we're off to a really great school year. And that's all I have for now.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate your partnership.
I appreciate you for having me.
Oh, thanks. Lots of appreciation going around. Did anybody see if Austin was able to join? I don't see him on the screen, so we can turn it over to Mr. Ebert.
Awesome, thank you. You can pause me if Austin shows up. We'll turn it over to him. He'll be great. I'm sure he'll join, or we can get a share out from the students at some point. I want to reiterate what Melissa had to say earlier. First off, I want to do a little bit of introduction too. I'm Eric Ebert, the principal. It's my 7th year in the building, 5th year as the principal, and Melissa reminded us about her 5 years that she spent there. Melissa was the first hire that I made when I became principal. We're real happy with that. Melissa's been a great fit in our school. I think everybody on here knows that. It's been a great start to the school year. I appreciate, and I won't go further into detail of it when it comes to our back to school breakfast and welcoming from PTSO. I talk all the time on here about our partnership. I greatly appreciate it. And look forward to another strong year through that regard. Our classes have started off strong. The new students seem to be adjusting well. We get Rachel. There we go.
I got it.
New students seem to be adjusting well. All incoming freshmen and all 10th through 12th grade students that entered this year. So we certainly have a team of people and resources to help ensure that transition is smooth and help kids enter Homestead ready to hit the ground running. And I think we've started that off really well. Our sports teams have been performing really well. Boys and girls volleyball have been winning. It's fantastic. Soccer is ranked in the state. Football's off to a hot start. It's really been an exciting fall so far, and much more to come. The beautiful weather, including today, has allowed us to open up our new garage door in the cafeteria. A gift from the classes, a combination of gift from the classes of 2022 and 2023. That garage door and some landscaping that had to take place with that, and then some of our new heavy duty outdoor tables. It's really a nice feature, and we've been seeing some kids utilize that space a little bit. Along with that, some of the work of the beautification committee. Yes, Lee, I apologize. The girls tennis team is also doing really great. I knew I'd forget somebody in my thoughts. Thank you for mentioning that. Anyway, the beautification committee that did such great work back in the spring, we've really had the opportunity to enjoy seeing some of that landscaping, trees, flowers, shrubs in the courtyard. I appreciate that. I know there's going to be some additional work that gets done to continue to beautify some of our interior courtyard areas. Looking forward to that. We can talk more about that in the future. In terms of it being off to a great start, our students' phones are away. We appreciate that. They recognize the importance of their phones being away. Whether they're doing that at home or not, it might be a different story, but to be able to put those away for 75 minutes and focus in on the things that we're doing in class and then do that 5 times over. Believe me when I say I'm seeing that. It's happening in Melissa's room, and it's happening in rooms all around the building. And that's the expectation. That's what kids want. They really do. Our new Smart Pass digital pass system is helping us make sure kids are not in the halls and they're engaged in their classrooms. And with that, it's been a nice addition to ensure engagement. Like I said, we've had a terrific start to the school year. Of course, we have off school on Monday in observance of the Jewish holiday. I'm sure everybody's aware of that. The Wednesday of this week, you've been getting emails from me. We had our first ACP, or Academic Career Planning, late start day. I believe it went pretty well. I walked around the building during that homeroom time, checked into some classrooms, saw what kids are doing. It's different for all grades 9 through 12, but this first 30-minute session was kind of a kind of the same for all grades, getting their feet wet with the MTSD program, Zello. And I say MTSD because some of the kids have used Zello in the past at the middle school. Some of our freshmen would have been familiar with it. Kids took a survey. They did a few other things related to their futures. I do suggest you talk to your student about what they did during that time, and hopefully the feedback is good. We're going to do this 5 times throughout the year, so 4 more to go, and then we'll adjust and get some feedback as time goes on and see where we go from here. But we're excited about this new program that our ACP coordinator, Matt Wolf, has brought to us. Also in the classrooms, we're really trying to focus our essential questions. Every class starts with an essential question, what it is that we're going to learn today, or the purpose of our learning. Focusing those essential questions on what skills students are developing to better themselves and their futures and be prepared for college and career. It's really a step further in the direction we've been trying to go in ensuring that kids understand the importance of what they're doing and why they're learning. That only builds student efficacy. And so that's been a focus of ours in the first couple of weeks and will continue to be something we talk about. Speaking of focus, we're also talking about how to help ensure our students can stay focused. I mentioned the cell phones thing a little while ago. Research tells us that students are or teens today are able to focus for 47 seconds at a time. And us adults are not a whole lot better. Around the 2-minute mark, maybe. I mean, think about yourself and focusing and all the distractions that we have. As a faculty this year, we're talking about some of those different things that we can be doing to help ensure students are able to really engage in deep thinking and comprehension and start to build back some of that focus that I think we've lost as a society. So that's something we're talking about at Homestead. Melissa already mentioned the AP exam registration, so I'll just add, expect an email from me, anybody who's got a student in AP class in the next few weeks. Right now, they're focusing on getting all students enrolled in AP Classroom. We probably know that process. I've shared that on here before. Once that takes place, then students can start to sign up for exams. And like I said, I will send out a message, and Jackie Connolly in the coming weeks about when to register and how to actually do that. The first step is AP Classroom. I'd be remiss if I didn't take this a second to say that we definitely want kids to sign up for exams and then matriculate to those exams at the end of the year. That is a major part of the college readiness process of an AP class. So the classes are designed to be successful on those exams, and we would love to see our students, not only enroll in the class, right, and engage in the learning with the teacher and the students in the class, but also make their way to preparation for the exam and then sitting for the exam when it comes to it in May. That is all part of the process in being college ready. Right now, we've got around 650 students enrolled in over 1,100 AP courses. We tick up every single year with the amount of kids who take courses and how many exams we actually take per year. Registration's a big deal, so look for that email, look for that information coming out pretty soon. The Merit Award, we talk about that on here, and really in any situation we can. Beginning of the year, it's back once again this year. Merit Award provides recognition to students who participate in and attend school activities, exhibit positive attitudes throughout the building. That's important, and perform service for our school or other schools around the district. The award provides us with an opportunity to recognize kids outside of the classroom. We do a lot of recognizing inside the classroom. Packets are available on the website. Mr. Zavada, one of our 2 assistant principals, is the one who oversees questions related to the Merit Award. Please encourage your child to engage in the Merit Award process. And it's an opportunity, like I said, to do some good things for the school. Obviously, something we can put on a college resume as well, which is an important factor. We have some fall testing going on in the next few weeks. Next Wednesday, September 27th, all juniors will take the pre-ACT. We did this last year for the first time. We got good feedback, and we liked the experience of the pre-ACT. This does allow students to get an individualized report that we wouldn't get otherwise regarding their proficiency, and it allows for our faculty to better make instructional plans to support each junior student. So we're looking forward to that on that day. Also, the senior ACT is on October 17th. This was something we did for the first time last year as well, allowing senior students to take the test one more time, sponsored by the school. Opportunity to raise their scores if they choose to take it prior to applying to different colleges. We passed the deadline in registering for that. But if you're on the call and have somebody, who's not yet a senior, might be thinking about, next year having that same opportunity, in a last chance senior ACT for anybody who wants to take it. Parent teacher conferences are actually right around the corner. So look for an email from me in the next few weeks. They are a few days later, a week later than they were in the past. This year it's Thursday, October 19th. That's just kind of connected to our homecoming week and some other things that we got going on. Homecoming I'll talk about in 1 second. Based on feedback over the last couple of years, we will continue to offer the time slots like we did last year. And I guess the year and a half, we're probably a year and a half into doing that right now, a year and a trimester. So you can plan accordingly, not have to wait in line. We'll have a hybrid conference setup, meaning you'll have the option to meet in person or via video conference. In the first 2 hours, which will be 3:30 to 5:30, would be via video. The final 2 hours will give a little bit of a break to get people, a restroom break and trip down to the field house. The last 2 hours will be in the field house. Again, we think it's the best of both worlds. As a principal, it's important to provide families the easiest way to access our teachers, because we want those important relationships to be developed in support of the kid. And that might be the Zoom meetings. It's definitely the 5-minute time slots. And and part of the other aspect of it is, as the principal, it's really great to be able to invite people into the building. And so don't ever want to get rid of that thought that, that people wouldn't be coming in the building for conferences. We did that for a little bit, right? And we're not interested in doing that anymore. So in the field house, 5:45 to 7:45, or anybody who wants to come to school during that time. More info to come. Homecoming week is October 9th through the 14th. It's later in October this year, so our theme is Haunted Homecoming. The student council voted on that, along with any other students who are interested in doing so. We're looking forward to a really nice week. There'll be theme days every day, powder puff game on the Wednesday that week, sporting events all week long, dance on Saturday night. The dance is actually going to be moved from a part of the field house to the cafeteria this year. We're pretty excited about that, because we're going to now use our garage door space to allow kids to go outside as they need to into the courtyard. And I think it'll be a really neat time when we get there. More to come on homecoming as we go. Seniors had the chance to order their caps and gowns, as well as class of 2024 apparel. That was last week via an online link that was shared a few weeks ago, but we finished it all last week. It was awesome for that group of students to be together for a meeting. It's not that often you get full class meetings together. When the seniors get together, it's even better yet, because they're the group of kids who really dictate how the school year is going to go. And I make sure to tell them that it's been a really great start for the class of 2024 this year. I'm looking forward to many great days ahead. I will stay on and take any questions anybody has, but that would be the end of my update.
I think Austin's here too.
Yeah, I noticed that Austin joined. So if you don't mind sticking around for the student report, that would be great.
Yes.
Go ahead,
Austin,
Roberta.
thank you so much for your report. I'm sorry, I had a wrong email address for Austin, so that's why he's late. So thank you so much for coming.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm too busy for my own good, I just want to thank you all for having me. My name is Austin Kruger. I'm the new representative for the student council. I'm a senior here at Homestead. And I just want to give you guys an update on, what we've been talking about throughout the school. So as Mr. Ebert covered, the theme of homecoming is Haunted Homecoming, the student council side on that. I think there's so many opportunities for, creativity. Next, we've each student council representative has covered a different section. So, you know, I'm covering the pep rally. I know my other fellow seniors are covering decorations, promotions, the homecoming actual dance, as well as the parade. Speaking of the parade has a new route. It's actually going from the Grace Church to the Thiensville Park, which I think will be really, really interesting to find out because I know that we've done the same route for the last couple of years. We've had our second full council meeting today, this morning at 6:30. We have extremely high student council numbers. I mean, there are tons of kids joining us this year, and in the past 3 years, I haven't seen anything like it. So I think I'm really excited for how this representative of every single grade is going to go this year. We've only done 2 meetings, so not much else to report. But homecoming's going really well. We're staying on top of things, and looking forward to the next couple of weeks.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us.
Sorry, Julie. Austin, great
Yeah.
job. Glad that you're here. Appreciate you mentioning the parade, and we want to add that it's moved to 5 p.m. also, from 4:30 where it's historically been. So we hope that's a chance to give people a better opportunity to get to the parade a little bit later. It is a new route, like Austin described. But we're hopeful we can get some of those elementary students and families and anybody else who's interested in seeing what the kids are doing at Homestead to be able to come on that route. So please pass the word around. We'll definitely be sharing some more info as time goes on.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Ebert, Mr. Kruger, or Ms. Blahnik?
Mr. Ebert, would you mind saying that date again for the parent-teacher conferences?
Thursday night, October 19th.
19th. Okay, great. Thank you. And being that we're new here, you said you'll have an email come out. We would be signing up for different slots. Is that the way that works?
Yep, Trudy, thanks. Yes, so 2 weeks before, I like to work 2 weeks ahead. 2 weeks before, I will send a message kind of showing what the expectations are for people who want to sign up. I'd let a parent describe a little bit further because I've actually never done it from the parent side, but ultimately you'll be able to get on a link and connect your student and their Infinite Campus schedule to a 5-minute time slot that you want to meet up with a teacher. And so instead of standing in line and waiting to reach somebody, you can essentially create your own schedule to get in there at the time that works best for you. It's worked pretty slick in the last 4 or so trimesters that we've used it, and we'll continue to do it. But that's the directions that you'll get. And then 1 week before, so I guess that'd be the 12th, I would send another message saying, hey, this is live. Go ahead and sign up, if you're interested in doing so. Does that make sense?
It definitely does. Now, is it something that the student would be along with, or is it just intended for the parents?
Love the question. I think most of the time it's just parents at the parent-teacher conferences, but I would recommend the student be involved for any conversation that you'd want. Austin, I don't know what your thoughts are about that, or Mrs. Blahnik, but having a student involved in the conversation to hear about their progress and the expectations of the course, where they can connect with parent and teacher. I mean, to me, that's a great thing, but it doesn't necessarily happen that way too often.
Thank you. I appreciate your information.
Yeah.
The scheduling is very slick and very easy, and you can basically say, what time do you want to start? And it'll kind of autofill your appointments for you and make it just super easy to connect. And then you kind of you speed through one teacher after the next. So,
and if you have multiple students, it takes multiple schedules and puts it all together. And so you have the most efficient time schedule. It's really nice. But there is in person as well, right? There is in-person conferences, and then the counseling department will have some updates for, I think, is it the sophomores at the October?
It'll be juniors. It'll be juniors.
Juniors. Okay.
But the in-person is also still scheduled 5 minutes. Everything's scheduled 5 minutes, and then it's just based on the timing of whether or not you would do that via video conference or in person. Everything's still scheduled for a 5-minute window.
Does anybody else have any other questions? I'm going to take
Me.
silence as a no.
Me again.
Okay.
Would you mind expanding on the merit awards a little bit more?
Yes, for sure. Austin, you're a merit award winner. Or earner. I'd like to hear from you a little bit about maybe some of the things that you've done. How does that sound?
That's great. I have done it. I actually participated in 8th grade as well. I don't even know how that's possible, but I've done it the last 5 years. And I think that it's more of an incentive to go out and do things in your community. So freshman year, I started my own charity. It's called Mech One Cares. And I donate furniture to recovering drug addicts that are trying to rehabilitate into the Milwaukee area. And I just think that by having an merit award, by having something that says, you know, you need 15 hours, you need 20 hours to go out and do something in your community is really great. And I think it's gotten me and all my friends and the rest of the school out to go out and do something for the rest of the community.
They also have to get teachers to sort of sign off on just their grades and character in class in a way to sort of advocate for themselves too, to seek out, you know, something for themselves by an adult. And so I think that's another good feature of it as well. So.
Hopefully that helps, Trudy. It's just an opportunity. I like the word incentive. It's an incentive to do some good work for the school community. It's an incentive to be engaged in co-curriculars and support your peers as well. You know, when you get hundreds of kids doing, you know, volunteer work, extra things in support of a teacher or their classmates, only good things come out of that. And so we like to recognize those sorts of non-academic things, you know, the extracurricular stuff, the positive attitudes a little bit. I appreciate the way Melissa worded it too, about having to advocate for yourself and have a teacher say, yeah, you are a positive influence in my classroom. Let me sign that document. So again, Merit Award, you can find it on the website if you just search Merit Award on the Homestead website. Otherwise, we have printed packets in the student office.
I do have to say our freshman son is really looking forward to it already, and he has started working by himself to get these done. Mom hasn't had to ask him to, so that I think it's a really good program. Yeah, it's a step forward. Yes.
That's really impressive, I gotta say, Trudy. I kind of look at it as just sort of rounding out the student experience in the community and in the school, just being beyond academics, but sort of a well-rounded member of the student body by participating in other ways. So I think it's a really great thing and was not optional for my kids. So.
Exactly. I call it a one-stop shop for college applications because I think it takes everything that schools are looking for and kind of puts it in one spot. So I think it's great.
Any other questions for our guests? Okay. Well, if you think of anything, I'm sure you can find ways to reach out. But at this point, I'll thank you for joining us this evening. And if any other follow-up questions come through, be sure to funnel them along to you guys. But really appreciate your time this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Before we go on, we kind of, the PTSO needs to take kind of an attendance. We need to know who is in attendance at the meetings. And we have an iPhone and an iPhone 12 in attendance. So if you could just like identify yourselves in the chat so we know who all is attending the meeting, that would be really appreciated. So thank you. I failed to introduce myself in the beginning. My name is Julie Smallwood. I've lived in Mequon for 12 years now. And my older son graduated in 2022, and my younger son is a junior this year. I've been involved with executive boards at the elementary, middle, and high school level. Got roped into this by my dear friend, Roberta. So very happy to be co-president with Roberta. She's very organized and keeps things rolling. So I would not be willing or able to do this without Roberta's support and help. And we have a great team also here. I see Rebecca just popped on. Becky Konya is our secretary. We have Trudy on the line. She was speaking earlier. She's one of our co-vice presidents. And then we have Jamie O'Connor, who is our treasurer this year. And then Lee Heinrich does all of our communications and short kilts and takes care of all of those kinds of communications. Our other co-VP was unfortunately unable to attend, Veronica Pope, but I'm sure you'll get to meet her in future meetings. So brief introduction of the team. Roberta, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I too have been involved in PTO since elementary school, and I just think it's an amazing place to get firsthand information. And, you know, kind of just, especially at the high school level, because your kids don't tell you anything. And that's what we try to do with our short kilts too, is to make sure that that information goes in there so parents can kind of see that as well, you know, from the announcements and other things like that. But no, I have a son, Charlie, who is a senior this year, and a daughter, Kate, who's a junior. So I'm kind of, you know, at the end of my time with Mequon Thiensville School District, but have enjoyed every minute of it. Yeah, and Julie is so wonderful to be my partner this year, and we have a great team. So
we do. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Becky.
All right, I am here to approve our moving to approve the May minutes were available in this week's short kilts. There was a link to those, but the May minutes, do I have a second? And I don't know if I have a new computer. But, so if you need,
if someone could just raise their little hand thing. Okay, we got Rachel.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel.
And then all summer now I kind of forgot how to do it. So all in favor of May minutes?
You could show a thumbs up, or okay.
All right. I've seen the minutes are approved.
Fantastic. All right, Jamie, we're going to turn it over to you.
Okay, I am going to share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the budget for 2023-2024. We started out with cash balance of $41,789.63. Our revenue comes from multiple sources. We get revenue from PTSO membership dues, the Highlander Fund, donations for staff appreciation and conference dinners. We have revenue in there for Leave a Legacy, and that is a pass-through that goes, that we collect the money and then we give it right back to the school. We also get some small donations for advertising in short kilts, and sometimes we get matching donations, and that would be the miscellaneous income. And then we also have grad greetings as well. For expenses, we have area council dues, we have the production of the grad greetings, homecoming decorations, the landscaping and beautification, which is the planters outside, courtyard maintenance, and we have some plants that we will buy for the courtyards this year. We have mini grants, $7,500, and mini grants for clubs, which is new this year.
We also have a miscellaneous expense of $10,400. The $10,000 we are going to donate to the school to put a cement platform outside of the garage door so the tables can sit on that. That is not the total cost of the project, but we will be contributing to part of it. There's also membership toolkit that increased by $100 over the prior year. We have credit card processing fees of around $1,500, prom donations of $1,500, the $5,000 for the principal's discretionary fund. Last year, I believe that fund was used to buy some chairs for the counseling office. Professional fees or taxes is our charitable organization renewal, $190 for PTSO insurance. The senior award reception for $850 is half of the senior magazine expense. I don't think it went through the PTSO last year, but it has in years past. Staff appreciation expenses, those the revenue and the expenses go towards mostly the Staff Appreciation Week that is in May. And the conference dinner expenses, what we collect in for the conference dinner donations go out for the conference dinner expenses, and that is 3 times a year. So total expenses, we have $48,940 is what we're anticipating, and then we will have an ending cash balance of a little over $30,000. So we are trying to spend it down a little bit, which is why we made the donation for $10,000 for the cement patio. Anybody have any questions? Okay. That is all I have.
Does anyone want to make a motion to approve the 2023-2024 budget?
I make a motion to approve the 2023-24 budget, PTSO.
Fantastic. Can I get a second? Thank you.
I
Okay, we got
second
a
the
couple of
motion.
them.
I second the
All
motion,
right.
Mr. Ugaldi, thank you.
Thank you. And I appreciate, by the way, thank you for letting us know who is on which phones. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Okay, all in favor? Raise hands or thumbs up. Any opposed? Okay, budget is passed. Thank you very much, Jamie. Really appreciate it. Okay, so I'll start with the president's report. Really, the primary thing I wanted to talk to the group about was just benefits of membership, since this is our only meeting that we hold where it's open to the entire like community, basically high school community. The benefits of joining are for meetings like this, where you're really able to get your hands on, get firsthand information, hear from Principal Ebert, find out about what's going on in the school. He's really able to give us a good pulse about how the school year is going and how the students are engaging and reacting to things. I know from my own experience, the hall pass change is not a very popular one, but he's able to provide some really good perspective, and that's like really invaluable from where I sit. I really enjoy hearing from him. You also will get short kilts delivered to your email inbox weekly. Lee does a fantastic job pulling that together, gathering information from a multitude of resources in order to give you like a one-stop shop for where to go to get information about what's happening in the school, including bringing in the morning announcements that come through every morning that most kids don't come home and tell their parents about. It'll be in short kilts so that you know what's happening in the school and what our kids are being told about what's happening in the school. The membership fees are very modest, $25 to be a member. So that money goes to support all of those great things that Jamie was just talking about, our ability to support different kinds of priorities in the school that are kind of outside what the normal budget would be, as well as the teacher wish lists and the mini grants for both the teachers and the student clubs. We don't ask for we don't do any kind of fundraisers where you're selling anything to raise money for the school, like maybe happens in the lower schools. We have just a Highlander Fund where we just ask for donations to that to help support all of the efforts and the ways that the PTSO enriches the school community. And then we also do have a separate kind of fundraising option to specifically target money toward our teachers with the staff appreciation donation. All of that can happen. You can sign up to be a member by first verifying your contact information and membership toolkit, and the link was provided in the short kilts that went out to the entire community. You can purchase your membership there, and then you have to go back to the store to be able to add anything else if you wanted to add a donation to the Highlander Fund or staff appreciation or anything like that. We really appreciate everybody's participation and donation, and it keeps us going. It makes us like be able to really help in the school in a pretty substantial way. So thank you for that. We also have some open committee chairs left currently. If anybody's interested in getting involved and maybe doesn't want to, take on something in the executive board just yet, but maybe want to do a little bit more, we are looking for someone to take over finding advertising and sponsorships opportunities so that we can raise funds for that. It's basically we would be able to put those whoever's advertising or sponsoring, we publish that as part of our short kilts publication. And then we're also looking for chairs for the senior dinner, which is a super fun event. I was participating in that when my older son was a senior, and the only way a parent gets to attend the senior dinner is if you are on the committee working and getting it all set up. And it's a really fun event. The kids have a great time, and it's just fun to watch that energy go. So if we're also looking for a chair for that. So if you'd like to volunteer for that, we'd love to hear from you. Am I forgetting anything, Roberta? Because I'm sure I am. No?
That's great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, then I'm going to turn it over to you, my friend.
Yeah. So I'm going to give the area council report. And for those of you who don't know what that is, the area council kind of governs all the PTOs in the Mequon-Thiensville School District. And we meet once a month at the district office conference room, which is attached to Homestead. It's right there in the front. And it's great information. Dr. Joint gives an update, and so does a member of the school board. And so the first meeting was on September 6th, and Dr. Joint spoke about communication in the district. And he said that the first point of contact is to give the staff the opportunity to problem solve before escalation. And he kind of used an example of like in the classroom, if someone has special needs and those needs aren't being met, please, go ahead and contact your teachers first, and then see, if they can remedy that situation before escalation. And I'm sure there's, other examples of that as well. He said that, as always, stakeholder engagement is a priority for the school district, and they do that. One of the ways is through building newsletters, and for Homestead, it's really communication is event specific and based on need, and they put that out on the district website and so forth. And then he said, who to contact at the district level, go on the MTSD website. There's a whole who to contact form, and you can do a search, and it kind of gives you, puts you based on what you're searching on with the correct person to contact. And then Shelley Burns, the president of the Board of Education, she kind of talked about the goals for the school board for this year. And she said that there will be, they're working on improvements to teacher strategic salary program. They're going to determine the process for their next strategic plan, approval and implementation of district sponsorship guide. Those are the businesses and individuals that can support the school district with, through monetary donations for like academic programs, athletics, things like that. Policy process improvement. They have a policy committee that's always reviewing policies. I think they kind of have an expiration date. And then they kind of come up and then they review them, the different policies. Legislative committee process. And then also, I know that Shelley herself really champions this last one, and that is solving projected budget shortfalls, the inflation gap. And she's been working at the state level for that. The state of Wisconsin is kind of shorting the schools per student, and it's everywhere. But she has done research that the money is there, but because of this inflation gap, it's not being spent on the student. And so we would probably have her come and speak about that and at one of our meetings and kind of give where she's at with that process. And so that's all I have for student council at this time. Does anyone have any questions about anything I mentioned or how student council works? Or not student council, I'm sorry, area council. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Roberta. So next we go to committee reports. The first one would be homecoming week, but I don't see Katie on the call. Is there anyone else on the call that's working with Katie on the homecoming week?
I just went ahead and put this information in there to kind of give the update. And it was basically, Austin had kind of touched on some of this too. And so it's the times, and then for the prep assembly, and then also, or the PEP assembly, and then also the parade will be starting at 5 p.m. And then the new route. And then Saturday is the dance, the theme Haunted Homecoming, as was mentioned before. And then the game is on Friday at 7 p.m. versus West Bend. So the committee does need support for volunteers. And so we'll be putting something out in short kilts to help with some of these things, decorating, distributing tickets, helping with the parade, etc.
Okay, anybody have anything about homecoming, new questions? I think we've kind of gone over it in pretty good detail in the last, with several different people talking about it, but
yep.
Keep your ears peeled. Tickets will go on sale. There'll be a notification when they do go on sale, and they're typically cut off at a certain point about a week before. So you want to make sure that you get the ticket ahead of time. You won't be able to purchase them at the door. All right, back to you, Roberta. You're the star of the show.
Okay, wow. All right, so mini grants and teacher wish list. So the mini grants, we are rolling out a new mini grant program. So traditionally, we have, and Jamie touched on it in the budget, is $7,500 for the teacher mini grants. And we have, for those that don't know about mini grants, it's an opportunity for teachers to submit a request or an application for something that they can use in their classroom that would benefit a lot of students. And that's typically not something that's, in their curriculum, like supplied for them by the district. So we will vote on that. Hopefully we'll have enough that we can vote on that at the next meeting. And then new this year, we're rolling out the club mini grants. And when Julie and I met with Eric Ebert a couple weeks ago, he said that he's got students in there trying to set up clubs like every day, and that they need a little startup funding. So we're going to offer a mini grant application for them as well. So they can do startup funding, or if they need busing, and then we will also offer it a second time in February. So, and that's when the competition fees start to kind of come in, depending on, how they've done with it. So some clubs do competitions and things like that. So we think that that's a good program, and we'll see how that goes this year. And then the teacher wish list, that used to be done in the past. And it kind of stopped for a couple of years. So we wanted to get the feedback, and Melissa Blahnik went and sent an email, as she mentioned, out to the staff. And they said, yeah, we would love to do that again. And so that is actually for the families to donate something. So what we do is we just kind of help coordinate that. So the wish list has been sent out via Google form to the staff, and then they will populate a spreadsheet. And then that spreadsheet will be posted in Short Kilts starting this Tuesday. So, and then families can just go right in to the spreadsheet, mark what they might want to get for the teacher, and then have that sent to the school. Some teachers put in links. Otherwise, you can drop off a package, and teachers are, requesting everything from candy and Kleenex to sewing thread and batting materials and things like that for art and other stuff. So it's kind of like a full gamut of requests. I think one teacher is requesting an old refrigerator for a science room. So there's please go on and take a look. And it doesn't necessarily have to be brand new items. It's a good way to reduce, reuse, recycle as well. So, and I think that's about it with the teacher wish list. So thank you.
Thanks, Roberta.
Sure.
Before we jump into Short Kilts with Lee, I just also thought I'd bring up that one of the things Mr. Ebert asked for was if there's any way to find gently used Homestead gear, so that on days when they're trying to do something that is like themed around wearing Homestead gear, the kids that may not be able to access that themselves, that he would be able to provide them with something. And so we're going to be, between boosters and PTSO, we're going to try to get donation boxes set up during football games and during sales on Fridays from 10 to 12 to donate those gently used items, and to get him started with his spirit wear closet. Boosters and PTSO are partnering to order about 40 shirts, just of various sizes, so that he'll have at least something to kick off, his spirit wear closet. But I know we're all incoming, but some of you have older students who may have graduated and don't care to continue to have their Homestead gear, or you may know somebody. So if you could kind of spread the word, that would be great. And Lee, was there anything you wanted to add about Short Kilts?
I don't think so. Just, anytime you have, if anyone has anything they would like included in Short Kilts, just email me. I prefer email, otherwise I might not remember. So it's good for me to have it in writing. So please just send me an email and I will get it in the next one.
She does like a fantastic job. I don't know how you keep track of everything, Lee, honestly.
Sometimes I don't, but I try. I do try.
Oh, we appreciate it.
I get a lot of good reminders from people like Linda. Linda is very good about letting me know, what she needs and when. Love that.
Yes. And speaking of Linda, who also does a fantastic job with our staff appreciation, Linda, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, I have a great team, so it makes it really easy. We did the welcome back breakfast. It went off as normal. Everybody had a great time. It's always fun to see them congregate and ooh and ah, and yeah, everybody was real happy. Next up will be conferences like we talked about, and we will be doing apple spice. I already spoke with Doug. Soup, salad, sandwich, something like that. That's usually what our hearty October meal is. And then we've got the rest of them to be planned, and I think I will be Zooming with all of the committee in the early part of October to finish up what the rest of the year will look like.
And so the conference dinners are funded by the
certain
classes,
levels, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, certain levels. And so we're going to be asking the senior class families to do to donate, for the conferences for this one, right?
Right. Yep. And then our funds will cover all of the extras, because they do get snacks and treats throughout the evening. So they have their meal, but then they like to kind of take a little bag and have some water and some snacks and things like that, because it's a long day for them. And then paper products and beverages, things like that, stuff that's not covered by that.
Yep.
Mhm.
All right. So do we have anyone, a representative, is Nicole on the call for voices? Okay, unfortunately, no. Is Danny on the call? Because I can't see now. All right, so these are our partner organizations in the community. So we'll hopefully get some updates from them in future meetings. So we'll look forward to that. Becky, oh, go ahead.
Julie, I can do a little MTEF
Okay.
update. Danny Melgard, she updated area council. And so a few things. She said that the trick or treat trot is on Saturday, October 28th. And then they're going to have a 25th anniversary Mardi Gras bash on in February 24th at Shelley's. And then they're going to do the off to the races again on Saturday, May 4th. She said that the give backs last year that they had with the various restaurants through the community raised $7,500. And that there will be one coming up. There was one at Gilly's Car Wash, I think this past weekend. And then there's a fall fashion at Everywhere Bayshore on September 27th. And let me just see if she's got any other information. For those of you who don't know MTEF, it's the foundation for the school district. It was founded in 1998. And over the years, they have granted over $5 million to the school district for academic purposes. And this year is their 25th anniversary. Let's see. They gave a check for $150,000 to the district this past summer. And some of the things are for professional development, new courses, a new cybersecurity course, and the inline panels are all being updated at most of the schools, the elementary and even at Homestead. So they've spent quite a bit on that. And they also do a teaching and teaching excellence award. And that they had 7 winners last year, and that will be, they will have 7 winners. They're increasing the categories for that. And then teachers receive awards from like elementary, middle, high school, and then I think there's special other special like art and things like that. So great.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Becky, do you want to give us a connection on boosters?
Sure. I don't have too much. I think a lot of it was covered by other people. But Booster Blast Off was canceled. That event was supposed to be here, but with the heat advisory, that was canceled at the last minute. We are looking at other dates or opportunities to kind of do some other, there had been discussion about doing something at the end of the parade route coming, but in light of the new time and then the kickoff, thought that was too short of a window to kind of community to gather at the park and then make their way to the football game. So they're about a future event, so stay tuned. And then we are doing a partnership with the PTSO, collect those gently used Homestead spiritware, and the plan is, if they're not already in place, at the home football games. I think there's only a couple left during Friday hours when the Highlander Hut is open, which I believe the hour 12 p.m. So if you're looking for a drop off, you can bring those to the and unfortunately I had to leave the booster meeting last week or a couple of weeks ago, but I think we an incentive, maybe, you know, some booster bucks or, you know, a percentage out. You know, there will be a reward, I guess, you know, a donation. Other than that, just like the fall sports are off to a great start. A lot of, you know, a lot of great things happening.
Yeah. Thanks, Becky. The membership for boosters kind of can pay for itself. You get the punch card. Yeah, you get a punch card to attend. It's not for any postseason play, but any regular season games or events. It'll cover the cost of that. So my older son was in swim and I would get my punch card, and that kind of covered my entrance into all of the events. And so the entry level of membership for boosters basically pays for itself with that. So something to consider as you you know, start the school year.
And yeah, also involved in sports, those membership, if you have, you know, if you're whatever the participating sport is, like swim team, if the percent membership enrollment, then that team will. So that's also a great incentive to join. So basically, not only, you know, helping yourself, you are helping the team.
Thank you. All right, I think we're about wrapping up here. Does anyone have any new business, anything we're missing that we want to make sure we cover? Oh, I'm going to go back and share again. I want to make sure to point out when our next meetings are. We normally meet on the third Thursday of the month, but with conferences happening on the 19th, we pushed it to October 26th. And it's going to be preceded by the junior chat at 6:45, and then the meeting itself at 7:30. You can see here when future meetings are going to be and when there's a grade level chat associated with it. Go ahead and mark your calendars. Don't want to miss out. Is there any new business? Does anybody have anything they'd like to add to the conversation? All right. So can I get a motion for adjournment? Anyone?
I motion to adjourn our, what is this, September 22nd meeting.
Excellent. And who wants to second that? Rachel? Yes.
Apparently I'm always good for a thumbs up, so that's good. Thank you all very much. This was really great.
Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate your help too. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Say aye or thumbs
We're
up.
all good.
Okay. With that, we'll adjourn the meeting, and thank you all for your participation, and look forward to spending more time with you as the school year progresses.
Thanks, everybody. This was really nice.
You.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Julie and Roberta.
Thank you. Appreciate that, Rachel. You've been through it. You know what we're doing here.
Yeah.
We've been together a long time, ladies.
We really have, haven't we?
We're getting
Yeah.
there. We're getting there.
Home stretch now, baby. Home stretch.
There was
Walk
a couple
into the
11
light. Walk into the light.
there was a couple 11th hour things, but you know,
It's all good. It's
all
all
the
good.
loose ends.